Hey guys, today's video is a quick introduction to rifle scopes, so you know what to look for when choosing one for yourself. First, clarify what type of shooting you need the scope for. A scope for short-range driven hunts will differ from one for long-range target shooting. Driven hunt scopes often have low magnification and a wide field of view for quick target acquisition. For this type of hunting, you'll most often encounter variable power scopes, though fixed power scopes also have their place. Fixed power scopes are usually lighter and more affordable, while variable power scopes offer greater versatility, but tend to be larger and more expensive. Apart from hunting, both fixed and variable power scopes are also well suited for short-range target shooting. Long-range scopes for target shooting or mountain hunting use higher magnification, about 10 times or more. And that brings us to the next point. Magnification is shown by the first numbers in the scope's name. For example, 3 to 9 by 40 means a variable zoom from 3 power to 9 power. In other words, from 3 times to 9 times magnification. A higher magnification narrows the field of view, which is great for distance but not ideal for fast shots on moving targets. The second number tells you the diameter of the front lens in millimeters, so in 3 to 9 by 40, the lens is 40 millimeters. A larger objective can look brighter at the same magnification, but perceived brightness also depends on exit pupil and on the quality of glass and coatings. As a rule of thumb, lenses around 24 mm are for compact, light setups. Around 40 to 42 mm are for general use, and 50 to 56 mm lenses are great for low light situations. But keep in mind that the bigger lenses add weight and need higher rings. They also often come with a bigger price tag. Reticles are the aiming patterns you see through the scope. There are quite a few types available. You may encounter simple fine crosshairs and duplex styles with a thin center and thicker outer posts. There's the German number 4 that uses 3 heavy posts with a fine center line, while the older German number 1 has 3 bolt posts that don't cross, where the center post ends in a sharp point for aiming. For more advanced use, mil-dot or mil-hash reticles add dots or hash marks to help with ranging and wind. BDC or bullet drop compensation gives you vertical holdover marks for different distances, often tuned to a particular cartridge or velocity. Some manufacturers add illumination to their scopes so you can see the reticle in the dark. You'll also hear about first focal plane and second focal plane on variable power scopes. In an FFP scope, the reticle scales as you zoom, so its measurements and holdovers stay valid at every magnification, though it can look very thin at low power and quite thick at high power. In an SFP scope, the reticle stays the same size, which is easy to see, but the marks are accurate only at one specific magnification, usually max power unless the manufacturer says otherwise. While we're here, you can also subscribe. It helps the channel quite a bit. Thanks! Proper mounting is essential for both accuracy and comfort. There are a few different mounting systems. The first is dovetail rings, usually 11 mm in Europe or 3/8 of an inch in the US. These two are not always cross-compatible. The second system is Picatinny or Weaver rings, which clamp onto a rail. You may also encounter proprietary systems such as the Blazer interface or rail mounts like the Zeiss or Swarovski rail used on some premium European scopes. When choosing your scope rings, you need to know 3 things: your mounting interface, your tube diameter, typically 1 inch, 30 mm and sometimes 34 mm, and the outside diameter of your objective bell, because that determines the ring height you need to clear the barrel. A simple way to estimate the required ring height is to take half of the objective's outside diameter, add 2 to 3 mm of clearance, and then subtract the height your base already provides. And don't forget to set your eye relief before you tighten anything down, so you get a full image and enough space for safe shooting, especially with heavier recoil, unless you'd like to have one of those cool pirate eye patches. If your scope has a parallax adjustment, set it to the target distance when zeroing. It helps keep the point of impact stable even when your eye position shifts a little. Once the scope is mounted, it's time to zero. The first priority is to get on paper. If you have a bore sight, use it to save time and ammo. If you don't, you can often bore sight visually on a bolt action by removing the bolt, centering the target through the bore, and then aligning the reticle to the same spot. Take your first shots at a short distance. 25 meters works well. Then fire 3 to 5 shot groups, and use your elevation and windage turrets to move the group to the center. When you're close, move back and fine-tune your zero at your preferred distance. For many shooters, 100 meters is common, but choose what fits your needs. Also, try to do your zeroing in calm weather, because even a light wind can nudge your shots. There's a lot more we could cover, but I hope this short overview gives you a clear idea of what to look for when choosing a rifle scope. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.